Okay. Let me start with Oregon State volleyball. Congrats to those guys. Huge sweep on the road, especially against the Cougs. Sounds like they're pretty good, so congratulations to those guys. Um, Similar Monday, reviewing the tape. Again, credit to Arizona, played well in a competitive game. I think offensively we had some opportunities there that couple different places. Right? We got some guys open a couple of times. The protection's not as clean as maybe I saw during the game. Give us opportunity to create that. Possession count was down. It ended up only 9 possessions offensively. I think both teams did a good job of just using the clock and shorten the game that way. Defensively, really first 3 quarters battled. Had a couple tough plays to even give them a long drive in the first half. And then I do, just like I said after the game, field position was tough in that fourth quarter and needed to hold them to a field goal, and obviously want to do better on that. I felt similar after watching it on regards to the end of the half, opportunities that, just missed in regards to timeouts, way too aggressive on the fake field goal, and so that was errors on my part. And so we got to reload. I mean, we do. We got to go back to work, just like every week in this conference. Got another big time opponent, tough place to play. This team's playing at a high level and all of that, and so we got to have a great week of work to go to Boulder.
Through 8 games, would you say Arizona's the best team you've played so far this year? From a complete standpoint.
I think they did play complete in all 3 phases. I think we've played some really pretty good teams. I mean, I'm obviously watching now UCLA against Colorado reminded me of that team, and I think they're pretty good. Each week, everybody you're going to play, but that's not taken away from your question. They played really well.
Did you look at the Oladapo penalty, and what did you think of that?
Yeah, those are going to be tough. Anytime you're going to go high or be high around the quarterback, you're running a risk. Oladapo's 6'2". We got Siones around him at the same time. That quarterback's a little bit shorter, and you go high on a quarterback, you run the risk of getting a call.
I don't know how many guys are in your headset when you're deciding on what you're going to call, but is there someone that can talk you out of when you've made a decision, is there someone that can say, no, that's not a good idea? Has that happened much?
Oh, you get some, once in a while, yes, I offer up, hey, what do you guys think, depending on which side of the ball I'm on or if I'm just on teams. Sometimes it's just the guys next to me, but ultimately I make calls.
Obviously had to come back from losses before. Are there certain losses that hurt a little bit more than others? And was this loss against Arizona potentially one of those losses?
Yeah, they definitely all hurt. This is, tough. Anytime, you feel like you could have played a little bit better and had opportunities, but similar to our other loss, I mean, could have played a little bit better. It was on the road. So there's a lot of similar coming back from a loss.
A lot of the guys were very emotional. Robinson was crying right next to the locker room. I know Tolley on that last drive was, again, also very emotional. How have they kind of responded in the last 24, 48 hours?
Yeah, I appreciate, again, because this means a lot to these guys. And so I appreciate all they put into it. It means a lot to everybody in the building. We do. We want to analyze the tape and then put it to rest, learn from it, and move forward. These guys will do it.
You guys were 3 for 3 on third downs in that first quarter, but from the second onward, 3 for 9. Why do you think you guys struggled so much on third down conversions for the rest of the game?
Yeah, that's good because the first drive we were effective on third down. I do think the distances were pretty manageable on that first one, getting into the third and medium. Adjustments get made, and you threw some calls, but we had some spots where it was a longer yardage shoot. We even converted when Aiden's in when it's super long. So third down's tough, and you want to keep it to the third and medium, third and short.
Any updates on Jake or Isaac?
Waiting on Jake, have not gotten a great update there. Hodge, we think this next week. We actually thought late in the week that he had a chance to go. Coop, 50-50. We'll see how this thing continues to respond. Noble, by the end of the week, we're hopeful.
Obviously injuries are always a part of football. How concerned are you about the depth, though, in the secondary at this point?
Yeah, we're down a few guys, and you got to play in this league, especially against Colorado. You're going to need some secondary players out there. I am excited about some of the young guys that getting opportunities and going. I mean, Andre Jordan gets in there, and he held his own for his first kind of real-time playing. Jermad's a true freshman, and he's out there battling and going. And Jack Conne gets his first start and did some good things. So next man up.
I mean, with Jordan, I don't know, I think people were scrambling, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Had he been somebody you'd seen in practice and emerging, or?
He'd been getting some reps with the first kind of group the last couple of weeks because of, where we're at with Coop and Noble, that allowed for more reps. So we felt more and more confident, and the game started going, and felt confident to put him in there. And like I said, he did some good things.
It seemed like you guys wanted to get DJ and well, actually Aiden too, throwing deep against Arizona. Was that just a one-game plan, or is that something you guys have been? It seemed like the ball went down the field, and you ran your receivers down the field quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a plan against Arizona. We felt like there was some softer stuff down the field against these guys. You're not going to go 100% on some of those throws, but that was a little bit of the plan against Arizona.
Punt coverage had been outstanding
Yeah.
through the first 7 games of the season. A couple in the second half where they got some returns. Was that partly a function of your field position and trying to punt, maybe go for a bigger punt, and that opens the door to a return?
It was really the placement of the punt. We are trying to keep the thing toward the sideline, not in the middle of the field. You kick the thing in the middle of the field. These returners, the athleticism, that's just way more space than you want. Now, once it's kicked, though, our coverage unit, we got to play with leverage. We got to get off some blocks, and so both those things took place on those punt returns.
In Colorado, obviously, early in the season, a lot of attention, some good results. Struggled lately. What do you see just on film when you just look at the team?
I think that team battles, and I don't go to the extent of struggling. This league is tough and competitive. They have been competitive throughout, dramatically different than, let's face it, last year. And so this is a good football team. They can score in bunches. One of the best quarterbacks we're going to play. Defensively flying around. The home atmosphere that they've created, you could just see it on tape. It's a tough place.
Shedeur has been the most sacked quarterback this year right now in college football. What do you see on the Colorado offensive line that you think your defensive line can really take advantage of this coming weekend?
Well, what I see is the quarterback, they spread you out and he makes you pay. I mean, the ball can come out quick. They just coming off a game where they're playing a really good, we faced a defensive line at UCLA. They make a lot of people struggle with some of the talent they've got. And so these guys are solid on offense, man. And this guy is a tough, accurate, athletic, competitive quarterback that we're facing.
I want to talk on Jimmy. We spoke a little bit about him this past weekend. Could we expect to potentially see more of him? It just seemed like he added a different layer of a threat on the wide receiver end that maybe we haven't seen so far this season with kind of his bigger and taller body.
Right. I hope Jimmy runs with this. I really do. He got out there and he made some big plays, not just the touchdown, but he had some huge catches in the middle of the field to drive before that. And so we need guys to keep, improving. We talk about these things and the approach, and Jimmy's got some talent. And so, hopefully he runs with this.
What have you seen from Jack, too? Obviously 8 touchdowns. It's a new school record for tight ends. He just seems like he's really kind of felt his groove, this connection with DJ. Just what sort of impact does he really bring to the field each and every week that you guys play?
He's got a connection with DJ. I think they work at it the timing-wise. I think the guy is a good route runner in regards to understanding space and timing. DJ throws him that first touchdown with trust. He's not even turned his head yet. The ball's coming out, and that goes back to the trust between the two of them. It's awesome to have Jack coming along like this. I want to keep it going.
Coach, so much talk about how potent Colorado is offensively, but Travis Hunter made 2 plays that Chip Kelly raved about. He said those are just big-time plays. They took it away 4 times.
Yeah.
Tell me about what you see in Travis defensively and their defense overall.
Yeah, he's a gifted player, no question, but instinctive, really smart, understands the coverage. I think one of them is sitting there in a cloud corner and he's jumping an inside route, baiting the quarterback the second time with his length, got great ball skills. And they do. They caused 4 turnovers in the first half against UCLA. That's where I'm back to. This is a good team, competitive, and these games are tough. There's good teams across the board, and so they've been in the thick of about every game they've played.
Tanner Miller, I was wondering if you could just talk a little bit about his journey to where he is at now, because he's like a lot of offensive linemen come in here and they're not highly touted and everything, and he's just sort of seems like he just sort of ground his way into this position where he's become pretty valuable.
Yeah, he's extremely valuable, just with his flexibility position-wise, center and guard. Got here, went to work, learned the scheme, and he really didn't say a whole lot. He just kept on working. I think it was last year, same thing. He wasn't playing very much early. But sometimes offensive lineman takes a couple of years. He did that, and now he's just a mainstay, which, again, we've got some old linemen he's playing with that are highly touted and are playing really, really well, but I don't know if anyone is playing better than Tanner.
Have you had any, played any night games in Boulder during your career? Is there anything,
Yeah.
is there anything, you know?
I
Every
think
place
we,
seems to have something unique about them when they're at a night.
well, what's unique, this will be the only game we're gonna play on grass on our schedule, and so that's a little bit different. We've played a night game, I think when we were at UW, and the place was jumping pretty good. So we're expecting a raucous, tough crowd.
Well, it seems like once a season, you get a situation where you have the back-to-back road games. The second one, do you make any adjustments during the week? Just because
Right.
it's kind of weighs on the, the team a little bit, just with the travel and whatnot.
Not huge adjustments. We're definitely talking about recovery, rest and sleep. And again, you get to the end of the year and you want to be practicing well, but you got to have these guys recovering at the same point. But nothing drastic.
I know last weekend in Colorado, they had a little bit of a snowstorm. This weekend, not expected, I believe, any snow, but still going to be very cold. How do you guys prepare for that when you can't really control the elements that we have here in Corvallis and prepare for a road game where it's going to be freezing out there?
Yeah, it's similar, like, last week. We knew it was going to be warmer, right? But we can't, change the weather around here. Talk about hydration leading into it. These guys want the opportunity to get back on the field and play, whether it's 30 degrees or it's 90. So that's kind of the mindset.
Coach, the play on the snap, was that just a fumbled snap in the exchange with Tanner and Aiden? What happened on
Yep,
that?
it was just an exchange issue and kind of went sideways. I do give Aiden some credit in regards to picking the ball up and continuing to battle to try to get it. Thanks, guys.